A firmament of gray clouded the late afternoon sky over Morgan's dilapidated manor, the ancestral abode standing as a bastion of his storm-scarred past. The house, much like its inhabitant, had endured the ruthless gnashing of time, weathered and proud. Within its shadowed confines, Detective Morgan rested, surrounded by the whispers of antiquated furniture, echo of ancient cases solved, and the resonant silence of solitude. Morgan had dedicated his years to the pursuit of truth, a warrior against the tempest of mysteries. Now retired, his days were punctuated by the ticking of a grandfather clock, a morose companion that echoed the rhythmic chime of passing time. Each tick-tick whispered of a past filled with tumult and trauma. The relentless fury of a long-forgotten tornado, its wrathful roars still echoed in his dreams. Those dreams, a recollection of a twisted dance between man and nature, fueled his unwavering desire to build a haven of safety, a world swaddled against unforeseen horrors. A sudden thud disturbed the lamenting hush of the manor. The mail slot on the front door had clattered open. A rather heavy envelope tumbled in, making its presence known. Gingerly, he picked up the bundle, his roughened fingertips gliding over the seal. His eyes widened slightly as he surveyed the contents. A series of newspaper clippings, photos, and hastily scribbled notes, all pointing to an uncanny pattern of events in Danbury, Connecticut. The events seemed to revolve around an elite school, one that catered to the city's affluent families. Peculiar stories had started to breed in its hallowed hallways. Children speaking in tongues, odd symbols etched in classrooms, and strange behavior in those who were otherwise sound of mind. He sat back in his worn leather chair, his steely eyes flickering with intrigue. He dismissed it as the extravagant antics of the wealthy, yet an undercurrent of uncertainty tugged at his seasoned intuition. His loyal nature didn't permit him to ignore a potential threat, his past tragedies motivating him to safeguard others from harm's reach. He knew he had to venture into this mystery, even if it meant stepping out of his cocoon of solitude and into the maw of the unknown. The following day, with a satchel of essentials in the mystery-laden envelope, he boarded the morning train to Danbury. As the landscape whisked by, a sense of unease knotted his stomach. His reflection in the windows seemed to whisper of the impending anomaly, his eyes mirroring the storm that once scarred his life. As the train screeched to a halt, the quaint yet surreal town of Danbury unfurled before his eyes. Victorian architecture, interlaced with modern constructions, sketched a paradoxical horizon, housing an air of discomfort that throbbed in his pulse. He took a moment to steady himself before stepping onto the platform, the cool breeze whispering of a mystery that lay shrouded in the town's bosom. The school was nestled on a hill overlooking the town, a manor of pristine stone and foreboding charm. It bore a resemblance to the spectral silhouette of his own home, a mirror that rekindled memories he had fought to keep at bay. Unfazed, he began his exploration of the uncanny labyrinth, a seemingly innocuous world tainted with an undertow of strangeness. His first port of call was the school's courtyard. As he surveyed the scene, the underlying oddity began to reveal itself. The children ran in peculiar spirals, their laughter echoing in eerie harmonics. A group of teachers stood in cryptic formation, discussing in hushed tones, pausing abruptly when he approached. In a bid to dispel his growing paranoia, Morgan engaged in conversation with the teachers, probing them subtly about the rumors. Their guarded responses and elusive smiles painted a stone wall of silence that provoked more questions than answers. Their dialogues were layered with abstract references, cryptic phrases, and allusions to an impending celestial event. All these quirks, seemingly innocent on their own, combined to shape an ominous fresco of unease. Over the subsequent days, he tried to infiltrate deeper into the fabric of the town. He frequented local diners, bookshops, and parks, hoping to find a thread that would unravel the puzzle. Despite the mundane conversations and normalcy, an alienating disconnect permeated every interaction. The townsfolk maintained a detached camaraderie, often exchanging words that carried more weight than their simple meanings. The town's sleep was disturbed by peculiar dreams. He overheard townsfolk muttering about these nocturnal disturbances, their words spilling with fear, fascination, and anticipation. Morgan himself was not immune. His nights were punctuated by inexplicable nightmares of a cosmic tide, a dance of celestial bodies, and whispers of a distant alien tongue. It was an experience that transcended the realm of dreams, nudging the periphery of his sanity. One night, as he strolled down a less frequented path, he saw a gathering of Danbury's elite in an obscure garden. Underneath the glistening stars, the wealthy congregated, their hushed whispers melding with the rustling leaves, their faces reflecting an unnatural fervor. Intrigued yet apprehensive, he withdrew to the shadows, a silent observer to the ritualistic conclave. This gathering was the missing piece that connected the unearthly dots. The hints of an alien presence, the cryptic references, the abnormal behaviors, all culminated into a shocking revelation. The town was entrapped in a cosmic puppet show, the strings being pulled by a presence far beyond human comprehension. With the veils of uncertainty parting, the Danbury mystery deepened its roots into Morgan's consciousness. The dreamlike town transformed into a theater of cryptic performances, each act fueled by an interstellar puppeteer. The early morning sun cast long, lurking shadows, reminding him of his purpose: to reveal the truth and shield the innocent from a reality that threatened to contort beyond comprehension. The school's grand clock tower stood ominously against the morning sun. Its once comforting toll now resounded with an uncanny rhythm, as if each chime marked the descent of Danbury into an abyss of unknown depths. He approached the gathering of wealthy individuals he had spied upon, their faces a mask of refined cordiality, hiding an alien zeal. Ever the skilled conversationalist, he tried to extract insights, weaving in inquiries amongst harmless banter. Despite their rigid demeanor, he could sense their excitement about the upcoming celestial event. The anticipation was almost palpable, a malignant energy that pulsed in rhythm with the alien rhythm of the clock tower. As the day melted into night, he visited the school once again, the empty hallways echoing with the whispers of unsaid secrets. He stumbled upon a hidden room filled with symbols etched onto the walls, their otherworldly glow casting an eerie pallor. The symbols seemed to pulsate, an alien heartbeat that resonated with the subconscious rhythm running through Danbury. It was there that he discovered the terrifying truth. The wealthy patrons, in their pursuit of an enlightened dawn, had become conduits for an alien species. These beings promised a new cosmic dawn, a promise that resonated with the patron's desire for novelty and power. But as his old eyes scanned the arcane symbols, he understood the dark reality. The celestial event was not a herald of salvation, but a doorway for these entities to infiltrate reality, to transform it into a realm of their design. The revelation was a blow, striking him with the ferocity of a storm. His traumatic past intertwined with this newfound horror, the memories of a whirlwind chaos reflecting in the impending cosmic catastrophe. And yet, in the face of this overwhelming dread, his resolve solidified. He had to expose the alien influence and prevent the catastrophic transformation of their world. But his activities had not gone unnoticed. As he exited the hidden room, he was met with the stern gazes of the school's headmaster and the town's wealthy patrons. The confrontation was unsettling, their eyes gleaming with an inhuman glow. He knew he had exposed himself to a danger that was far from ordinary. Under the cerulean glow of an ethereal moon, Danbury pulsed with an alien heartbeat. The calm townscape was now an eerie tableau of unspoken dread and surreal anticipation. The specter of the impending celestial event loomed over every alley, every house, every soul, its ghostly pallor reflected in their eyes. Even as the world slept, the alien influence began to transform the very fabric of their reality. In the solitary confines of his room, Morgan wrestled with the immensity of his findings. His dreams were a cosmic ballet, resounding with unspeakable horrors and celestial secrets that defied the human perception of reality. Each morning, he awoke breathless, his thoughts echoing with the alien tongue, a testament to their growing influence. In the eyes of the townsfolk, he saw reflections of his own nightmares. Their transformation was subtle, their humanity being eroded to accommodate the alien presence. He knew he had to act. Driven by a selfless loyalty to safeguard the world, he set out to rally the unaffected townsfolk. He articulated the looming catastrophe, hoping to break their strange spell. He told tales of the wealthy patrons, the hidden symbols, the alien tongue, and the catastrophic celestial event. However, his words were met with disbelief and scorn. His credibility as a retired detective failed him, and his warnings were dismissed as a madman's rant. Despite this, he refused to relent. He had seen the eye of a storm before and had survived its brutal onslaught. The courage he found in his trauma fueled his resolve. His mind echoed with a singular thought: to thwart the catastrophic celestial event. As the days spiraled towards the anticipated event, he could see the transformation of the townsfolk escalating. Their once familiar faces now appeared as grotesque distortions, their bodies bending and twisting to accommodate an alien form. It was a chilling sight that hardened his determination. Alone, he decided to confront the town's elite at the school, hoping to disrupt their communion with the alien species. Beneath the star-spangled canvas of the night, the elite of Danbury convened within the school, their silhouette a grotesque dance of shadows. The clock tower's bell tolled an alien dirge, its reverberations rippling through the fabric of reality. Morgan's heart was pounding with a grim determination as he ventured into this epicenter of the anomaly, akin to a lone ship sailing into a tempest. As he navigated through the dimly lit corridors, he could feel the air thickening with an alien energy. The murmur of the gathering echoed down the hallways, their voices a chilling chant that tugged at the corners of his sanity. As he drew closer, he saw the patrons standing in a circle, their bodies convulsed in an unsettling rhythm, their voices raising in a chorus that resonated with the pulse of the universe. The cosmic dance was mesmerizing, terrible, and beautiful. A feeling of déjà vu gripped him, his past trauma of surviving a tornado reflecting in this cosmic maelstrom. He knew this was the moment to intervene. With a defiant cry, he rushed towards the circle, his voice raised against the celestial cacophony. However, his efforts were in vain. The patrons barely acknowledged his presence, their consciousness ensnared by the alien pull. The starry vortex pulsed violently, the maw of an interstellar beast ready to swallow their reality. Just as the maelstrom was about to consume the world, Morgan did the unthinkable. He threw himself into the vortex, his body a final barrier between the invading entities in their world. His presence disturbed the cosmic balance, the vortex convulsing in retaliation. His senses were assaulted by a barrage of alien thoughts, his very existence stretched and pulled into unimaginable dimensions. He did not resist. He offered himself to the cosmic storm, his sacrifice an attempt to restore balance. He felt the torment of 1,000 stars, the cold embrace of the void, the searing pain of reality torn asunder, and then a sudden calm. His existence dissolved into the cosmic ether, his final thoughts echoing a silent prayer for the world he had vowed to protect. As dawn arrived, the school was eerily silent. The wealthy patrons, disconnected from their alien puppeteer, fell to the ground, dazed and disoriented. The rift had vanished, leaving behind an echo of cosmic horror. The townsfolk, free from their otherworldly trance, woke up to a day that dawned normally, their alien memories fading like a bad dream. In the aftermath, the world moved on, carrying a faint scar of the cosmic anomaly. The school was deserted, its bells silenced, its classrooms vacant. The town's elite retreated from the public eye, their zeal replaced with a quiet remorse. Morgan was remembered as a madman, his warnings seen as the delusions of an unstable mind. Only the elite knew the truth of his sacrifice, but they held their silence, the reality too terrifying to accept. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed our content, show your support with a like and subscribe, and stay notified by hitting the bell icon. Expect more cosmic horror from Eldritch Tales Factory, and feel free to explore our other stories. See you in the next video.